Good morning, church. Today is Thursday, April 2nd. Yesterday, the President spoke to America and told us that we should be ready for the next few weeks. The next few weeks are going to be very hard. We can expect that the virus is going to spread across our country and to every part of our country, just as it has spread all over the world. We are continuously being told what we can do to avoid the virus, and therefore we urge everyone to follow those guidelines. We really look forward to the time that we're past this so that we can all be back together. But for now, we're facing a very serious situation. So at this time, what do people need? What do our families need? What do the limited number of people with whom we have contact, what do they need in their lives right now? They need hope. In the Old Testament, the prophets gave hope. Yes, sometimes their message was really pretty grim, but they were pointing the people at the time on the other side of the grimness. They may have been predicting a terrible captivity. They may have been predicting an enemy coming and storming their gates. But they were also looking past those moments to give the people hope, to assure the people that God had them in his hands. When John the Baptist came on the scene, he gave hope because he was announcing the soon arrival of the Messiah. When Jesus arrived, certainly the world was then filled with a new hope. Jesus came fulfilling the law and the prophets and pointing us to a new hope that would last for all of eternity. The apostles gave hope when they gave a reason to live and a promise beyond life itself. They talked about a new heaven and a new earth in which God's righteousness dwells. The early Christians gave hope to one another, even as they followed their Christ, even to death. And yet they were filled with hope because they knew that what they were possessing and what they were sharing was greater than life. All through history, there have been those who are the givers of hope. Have you ever noticed that hope is not much of an issue until it's needed? When life is easy and the way is smooth, we don't talk much about hope. But when the times are hard, hope is needed. Well, right now, we're facing some hard, scary, even mysterious times. Right now, the world needs hope. Right now, those people around you need hope. I want to read to you something that Peter wrote in his first epistle. He said this, "Sanctify Christ as Lord in your hearts, always being ready to make a defense to everyone who asks you to give an account for the hope that is in you, yet with gentleness and reverence." Make Christ holy in your hearts, but be ready to give an answer for the hope that is in you. Well, surely right now, this is our calling. We are to be the givers of hope. So, how do we do this? How can each one of us be a giver of hope to those people around us? I'd like to suggest 5 things. First of all, we don't live in the gloominess of the world. We do not have to watch television all the time on the news reports that tell of the bleakness of the situation. We can allow our minds to be distracted, but even more so, we can allow our minds to be filled with the greater things of life. I would urge you certainly now to take advantage of these moments in which you can actually read Scripture, in which you can pray, in which you can perhaps simply have a talk with family and enjoy those times. Do not be bogged down in the gloominess that surrounds us. Secondly, we trust God. This may seem like an obvious statement for Christians, but let me remind you of the importance of that. Our mighty Creator God is able to deliver through all things. He has made us promises that go well beyond, certainly well beyond this virus and beyond anything else that this world can present. We trust God. Third, we rejoice, even in difficulty. Let me read you something else in Scripture from the book of James, when he wrote this: "Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its perfect result, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." I'd like to point out that both of these passages, the passage from Peter and the passage from James, were both written and placed late in our New Testament. They are there because the people at that time, the first receivers of these messages, needed hope. And therefore, these anointed individuals were able to give those people hope, just as they give us hope at the same time. We rejoice even when difficult times come, because we know the promises of God are greater than the difficulties. Number 4, we look past this virus time, just like the prophets looked past their time of catastrophe that was at hand. They pointed the people to something on the other side and gave the people the assurance that whatever was on the other side was better than what they were experiencing. We have that opportunity. We can look past this virus time. This is not going to last very long. Certainly in the grand scheme of things, we're going to be dealing with this for a few weeks, a few months perhaps, but we're going to get past this. And we as the givers of hope do not need to be caught up in the moment. And then fifth, we decide, and there's the key word, we make the decision that we will be the salt and light that Jesus directed his disciples to be. In the midst of the chaos, we are the givers of hope. That is our calling. I hope that today you can pass on hope to your family, to those with whom you come in contact. Maybe someone even on the phone, maybe in a written note. In whatever way, be this day a giver of hope. Church, I hope you go and have a great day. Bye.